Out of the darkness appears a long light that has been a warm warning to sailors for decades. Hi, I'm Jim Baugh. Getting up early to watch the sun cast first light on the Hatteras lighthouse is an ever-changing movement of colors that seem to drop from the heavens. This trip to the Outer Banks is a special one, and we once again base ourselves out of the villas of Hatteras Landing in Hatteras Village. Everything we need to film for an entire week is right at our fingertips, including comfortable roomy accommodations and quick access to the marina. It is here dockside where we met up with today's featured captain, J.T. Barker. Now, J.T. is known as one of the, if not the best dive outfits on the East Coast. J.T. has a long history of diving wrecks off of Virginia and has been specializing in diving the many wrecks off the Outer Banks, also known as the Graveyard of the Atlantic. Our morning started out early on Captain J.T.'s dive boat, Under Pressure, that has been customized for maximum diving comfort. The boat has everything a diver needs and a couple of extras that really can make your diving experience the best it can be. Once underway, the good captain gave our crew a thorough safety briefing, and it wasn't long before we were soon approaching our first wreck, the Dixie Arrow. Upon arrival, I had a chance to talk with Captain JT a little about diving the Graveyard of the Atlantic, and also some of the things that make his boat Under Pressure such an attraction for divers.
Hey, we're here offshore with JT Barker. How you doing, Captain?
How you doing?
Hey, we've had a blast diving here. Incredible wrecks out here, right? Some of the best. Was talking to the lady. She's dipped everywhere, even Belize. And her favorite place is coming up here to the coast of North Carolina. And actually, this one wreck she just absolutely loves. Her favorite wreck out of everywhere she's done. How long you been doing this?
I actually been diving for like 20 years, 25 years, somewhere around there.
Okay.
And I've been running dive charters and fishing. I started out as a fisherman and then
Right.
took over with diving, so I'm kind of like got the best of both worlds, as you see here. The Dixie Arrow, which is what we're diving today, holds the most marine life that the divers like to see. And so we come here quite a bit. Sometimes there's current, sometimes night, but today is a great day.
The fish that we've seen. Go ahead and name them off. We know the grouper.
There was grouper, American red snapper, vermilion snapper, African pompano, barracuda, amberjacks, blue runners.
Big sharks.
Some big sharks and lots of rays today.
A lot of rays. Is there a particular season that's better for coming out for water clarity?
Not really. You just want to avoid the hurricanes.
Yeah, that's always a good idea.
We're in the Outer Banks, so it's but the Gulf Stream moves in really close here. It's the closest on the upper middle part of the East Coast.
And water visibility today, people may not believe this, we're looking at 100 feet or better.
Yes, 100 foot of viz today.
Which is what you get in the Caribbean somewhere,
Yes.
right? I mean, it's unbelievable diving.
What I hear from most of my divers who dive the Caribbean, once they dive, especially the Dixie Arrow, unlike the reefs, the fish spread out, but there is no reef here. So it's just the shipwreck that is the reef, so all the fish congregate here.
Well, now, quickly, the boat. Now, you charter, right? So they
Yes.
can contact through the website and all the information they need, whether they want to bring their own gear or you can rent. You're based right here at Hatteras Landing for a number of years.
Yep.
Right where people don't know, right where Ocracoke is, you take the ferry over. This is where you base right out of. Incredibly comfortable boat. Fully air-conditioned, bathroom, ladies. Got everything here. Lots of room. What's the beam on this? 16, 17?
15.5.
15.5. Very, very comfortable. If you want to come out and do a charter on diving, you couldn't. I think you pretty much have everything, including this is what? How many of these do you see out there in the world? This is your own. What do you call this?
We call this a diver lift.
A diver lift.
So it's basically an elevator. I built it for my better half. She has some 3 screws in her ankle and a plate. She's having trouble. Anybody who's been on a dive boat with a dive ladder, it bounces around.
Right.
And it's really painful sometimes in rough seas. So I built this so it would just go back like down like an elevator and bring you up.
It works incredibly well. Yeah, today we did 2 dives.
Yes.
And is that normal typically on a nice day like this?
Typical day we do 2 dives.
Wow, and then we're in what, 100 feet?
Yep, 90 feet.
90 feet.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Today's dive not only included scuba divers, but some free divers as well. Spear fishing while freediving has become a popular sport, and these freedivers were able to dive on our wreck 90 feet down with only 1 breath. Quite amazing. Once we were anchored on the wreck, I immediately noticed that the boat was surrounded with barracuda. And I'm not just talking a few fish here, but these fish were stacked up like cordwood all around us. It was just too much. I could not resist. There was a little break while the scuba divers were getting ready, so JT baited up from the bottom, and we had a little fun with the cuda. All were released unharmed. Germany's rise in the Atlantic meant that German U-boats were sinking every merchant ship in sight, sending Allied war supplies straight to the bottom of the ocean. This was an effective strategy up until 1943, when the Allies developed new weapons, code-breaking, and convoy strategies that then turned the tide on the German U-boat success. One such tanker ship that foundered at the hands of the German torpedo was tanker Dixie and was carrying 96,000 barrels of crude oil at the time. The Dixie was approaching Cape Hatteras when German U-boat U-71 sent 3 torpedoes, all exploding into the hull of the Dixie. The ship was crippled, yet continued to drift, burning through the next day, and eventually sank near the Cape Hatteras minefields. 22 men were rescued, 11 souls were lost. 3,500 merchant ships and 175 warships were sunk by German U-boats in the Great Battle of the Atlantic. Once a thriving merchant vessel, the Dixie now lies crushed and wire-dragged in 90 feet of water off the coast of Hatteras. A tomb, a remembrance of a world at war, is now a birthplace for new life. A casualty of conflict, its remains are now sanctuary to an abundance of marine habitat. A new world where jacks, redfish, spades, rainbow runners, sharks, and a host of other species join millions of baitfish in a vibrant execution of life.